Uh-huh. Yep. That's how you start a podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. My mind went blank there at the very beginning. It happens.
It does to the best of us.
Kaotic is just too stunning.
Oh, okay, buddy. You literally can't even see me.
We are staying in the United States today,
Okay.
and it's a type of werewolf.
Oh, okay. I do remember what we're talking about. I forgot. I'm very excited for this.
We are talking about the Rougarou.
Yeah.
Rougarou or Lougarou. The first spelling of it known was in like French folklore.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Lougarou. Then it got brought along with its people, with the French people when they settled in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And when they settled in Canada, then they moved down after they got kicked out by the Brits. They moved down to the Louisiana area,
Okay.
the Cajun.
Which is still like Cajun is still it's just like it's a form of French.
Yes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the French Cajun Creole, which it got changed to Rougarou, spelling wise, with the R. I don't have the right accent. Anybody was kind of wondering what accent that is? It's like Gambit from X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Gambit's a great example.
Or the Firefly from The Princess and the Frog.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rougarou is a werewolf-like creature. Do you know anything about it, Kaotic?
I do not. Something funny I do know though is that at Cedar Point we had a ride named Rougarou.
That was actually in my media notes because I did not know that.
Well, that's the only thing I know about it, so I'm excited to hear the rest.
I think it's actually still a ride.
It is, but it isn't. I believe it's been renamed because it was a really rough ride.
They got on YouTube, Cedar Point has a YouTube page, and they got a POV riding in the front car of the Rougarou video.
Yeah, it's a rough ride because you stand, your head gets knocked around quite a bit.
Well, with the Rougarou being more werewolf than mechanical roller coaster, it is said to have the head of a wolf or a dog, usually standing around 8 foot tall, and standard werewolf, sharp claws, glowing eyes. I've seen or heard people have it say its colors ranging anywhere from brown to black, even white fur.
Interesting.
One little thing I did hear is that the Rougarou is not limited to just wolf. It could also change into farm animals such as cows and pigs.
Oh, that's terrifying.
There is also many different origins of the Rougarou, or how to catch or how to become a Rougarou. There's many different ways. So, starting with some of the oldest that I've seen is that you could be cursed by a witch, or the witch themselves turn into a Rougarou. I have also seen that you get turned into a Lougarou or Rougarou if you break your lint,
Your
your
lint?
Catholic lint. You break what you're giving up 7 years in a row.
Okay.
Oh no, not break. If you don't follow the rules of lint for 7 years in a row, you'll turn into one. But the fun thing, from what I've seen, it's not permanent. I mean, there's some cases it's permanent, but most of the time you just get a trial period. So you'll turn into a Rougarou every day for 101 days. Every night.
Okay. That's a terrible amount of time.
It's better than years.
I guess.
You can also pass on being a Rougarou if. So I've seen two different versions. So you can either pass on the Rougarou by the standard werewolf, vampire, by you harming somebody or taking their blood, either by a scratch, a bite, or if somebody cuts you with a knife. If they cut you, they become the Rougarou.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Imagine defending yourself. Oh, bam, Rougarou.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're miserable as a Rougarou, that's a good way to.
Yeah. Then in the daytime, when you're in your human form,
Mm-hmm.
you're not just normal human. You're weak and you're sickly.
What the fuck is this? Is a terrible version of a werewolf.
Yeah. You're sick for 101 days, pretty much,
Oh my god.
in the Louisiana swamp.
What a crappy way to turn into a werewolf.
So there is some weaknesses to the Rougarou as well. Would you like to guess one? It is a very common weakness.
Is it like common, like I should know it from other werewolves, or is it common, like common to humans?
Both.
Silver?
Yes.
Okay.
But that might not kill it all the time.
Oh, okay.
To make sure it stays dead, you got to burn it.
Okay.
You got to burn the corpse till there's nothing but bones left.
Statistical probability. You can shoot it with the silver, but you may have to also burn it to death.
Yes.
All right.
And its major weakness, it shares with vampires.
Garlic?
That would be interesting being down Louis.
Yeah, Louisiana, they'd probably just fucking off whatever it is.
Yeah. But it is counting.
Counting?
Yes, the same weakness as most vampires and Mondi.
Are you implying that Mondi is a vampire?
I'm implying that he has a hard time counting.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah. It's been the first episode back in a while. I feel like poking fun at my brothers. The Rougarou can count higher than Mondi, though, as the Rougarou can count to 12. Anything past 12 always confuses him, especially if it's 13. So they say in order to distract the Rougarou, you throw out 13 pennies or 13 beans, 13, anything 13. You just throw it out. They'll count to 12 and they can't get past it, so they got to start over. And they'll sit there till daylight till they have to run away.
I really wish that garlic was one of them.
I don't know if it's bad, but every time I want to say Louisiana, I always want to say Louisville, which is a completely different area.
Not even the same.
So if I do mix them up, it's because my brain's wired weird. Yeah, but if you know someone's turning into a Rougarou, you can just keep them trapped with 13 objects. And he'll sit there and count for 101 days.
That's hilarious. 1 ha ha. 2 ha ha. 3 ha ha.
Would you like some etymology on the word Rougarou?
I would.
Because I also just found it kind of interesting. So Rou means wolf, and Garou means, I've seen two definitions. One was someone that changes into something, or werewolf. So it's wolf that changes, or wolf werewolf.
Oh.
So I just thought that was kind of interesting. It's like wolf wolf.
Wolf wolf. And if we're playing Overwatch, every time, oh my god, we put up. Sorry to take this conversation to the side, but it has to do with wolves. Technically dogs. We stopped at a gas station today, and they had hot dogs sponsored because they're trying, like they have a new brand of hot dogs or whatever. And it was like, I've got that dog in me, just like from dude from Overwatch that does the line now, the friggin' new tank. I've got that dog in me because it's a hot dog and you eat it.
So that's a hot dog slogan? Is I got that dog in me?
Yep. Because you eat the dog. You eat the hot dog.
Nice.
It's something.
With that, would you like to move on to media?
Yes.
So the media / culture that I found out was the NBA team, formerly known as the New Orleans Hornets,
Mm-hmm.
when they went to change their name, one of the options that they had listed was the New Orleans Rougarous.
Ah.
I'm not sure what they went with, though. I don't think it was that.
Seems toxic, but all right.
Mm-hmm. The Rougarou was in a couple different New Orleans-based TV shows, like NCIS New Orleans. It was on some cop show from A&E. They talked about it. There's a show called Shadow of the Rougarou.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's on Apple TV. Supernatural also mentioned it, and the roller coaster at Cedar Point in Ohio.
Yes.
Like you said, everything always comes back to Ohio.
I know. What is wrong with us?
There's also a Rougarou festival, but I forgot to write down where exactly. But that's pretty much it on the media.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I'm surprised Scooby Doo never did anything with it.
They probably did, but they probably just did it as a werewolf.
Yeah, there's a likelihood, but still at the same time, like, there was so much stuff that Scooby Doo did in Louisiana. So it's just surprising to me that it wasn't an actual Rougarou, you know?
Yeah. And Scooby has the right accent.
Mm-hmm.
On the Mayhem?
Yes. I feel like most of the mayhem is against themselves. I'm gonna be so for real. Like, poor Rougarou.
Pretty much. It still likes to attack people or bigger animals for food in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
night. Because it has to eat. But I guess I could have added this earlier in media, but there has been sightings of the Rougarou as early as like 2016, 2019, and a bunch of other stories on Reddit.
Reddit, of course.
Yeah. It's not many reports in the media or in like police reports of them, because if you encounter a Rougarou, this is
Mm-hmm.
another way to become one. If you encounter one, you like harm them and they turn back to normal,
Mm-hmm.
or you just figure out their secret,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell somebody, then you turn into the Rougarou
Oh
for
my
telling on
god.
them.
Can't be a snitch around these parts.
Nope. But the Reddit, the funnier like encounters that I heard
Mm-hmm.
was that this guy was driving down the road and he hit a cow. When he got out to check on the cow, he seen it go off the road and change into a Rougarou and just walk away.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It was in cow shape, hiding.
Cow shape is pretty fun to be in.
Oh yeah. Then a lot of the other ones I seen was that the same kind of trope where they injure like the Rougarou on their hand, and the next day they see a person walking around with that same injury on their hand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and they also like to. Oh yeah, the Rougarou also likes to hide in the bayous in the swamplands down there. Would you like to start our mayhem?
I mean, I stand by what I said. I think the mayhem is mostly themselves. Most of the chaos is resignated in how you become one and being one. It's just kind of chaotic to become one. And it seems far too easy almost to become one.
It does. Apparently, if anybody from Louisiana wants to message us to see if they've heard of it or how common of a folklore it is, or if they've seen one, send us a message.
Mm-hmm. Please don't tell us if you are one, because
Yeah,
I don't want to be a snitch and I don't want to turn into one.
they would turn into one then. Or
Right, but if they already are one and they're like trying to lure you, they're like, "Hey, I'm this thing," and then we're like, "Oh, we met a Rougarou," and then we become a Rougarou because we just snitched about it. You know what I mean?
yes, I think so.
Yeah, I don't want this for us.
I think there's a time limit of 1 year from knowing. You can snitch after 1 year and you won't turn into one.
I gotcha.
What do you think this creature would do if it was like more mainly in populated areas? Like if it was seen more often, if it was real and Mayhem-wise causing.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of fucking people would be turning into Rougarous.
Yeah.
It'd be like an influx.
I guess that is a major mayhem point for any spreading creature.
Yeah, but this one is breathing spreadable. This is like you look at a Rougarou and now you're a Rougarou easy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it seems very simple. So it would be a very fast spread fire. And then what do you do when everybody's a Rougarou?
Moonlight wolf parties.
Okay, we know what Silver would do.
I think they might be a bit territorial, but
yeah, but like, what if everybody's a fucking Rougarou? How are we dealing with that?
Well, I guess dogs are pack animals, so wolves.
I guess, yeah. Have certain ones that they trust and stuff.
Isn't that just the Omegaverse or whatever that is?
Yeah, and people would be ham to have it.
So some people might be trying to spread it on purpose.
Yeah, that's true. Bird and I.
Who'd be the first ones you try to infect?
Oh, I don't know. I'm definitely infecting you. I'm probably gonna withhold from Super Mage and Mondi. They don't get to be a cool Rougarou. I don't know. Probably that, honestly. Maybe a person or two to see if they can handle it.
The bad part would be being sickly during the daytime and have bags under your eyes. Alrighty. Well, that's all I can think of.
Where would you put him in our school?
Ooh, language teacher.
What the fuck? Dialect?
Yep. That way he can teach his accent.
That'd
accent
be cool.
teacher.
I would put him at like if he was a student, I would put him at like unintentional jock status. So like those jocks that don't know they're jocks. Yeah. Like they're accidentally territorial and kind of assholes, but they don't even know that they're like that way because of what they are. And then if they were like teacher or like faculty or like an actual job in the school, I would probably put them as some sort of cook, just purely because I hope they can cook Cajun food.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You know what position they would only make it about a year in or less? Defense against the dark arts.
All right. It's time to end the podcast. This is our last ever episode.
We're all going to go frolic under the moonlight as wolves.
Yeah, we'll see y'all later.
Before we go frolic under the moonlight, we need to thank our patrons, Mondi, Ruby, and Mage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Any news, Kaotic?
No, not really. I'm going to be starting up my hopeful D&D stuff in the event server for my charity. Looking to get more into the actual event stuff now that things are winding down, but we're about to go into baseball season, so who knows? I'm trying my best to get back into writing and doing things. I did recently edit a podcast video for the Eternal Mooncast podcast. If you guys like Sailor Moon, it's a great podcast. You should check it out. They're wonderful people.
Isn't Celine part of their group?
Celine and Loki. Loki's been on it.
Oh, yeah. Loki is too.
Mm-hmm.
Both of who were our former guests at one point here.
Yes.
I'd recommend it.
Very sweet beans. Their current channel trailer is the one that I made, and they were very sweet to let me try.
Chaotic with the outro.
Thank you for listening to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Silver and Chaotic take you into the depth of the lore and discuss how these legends could affect modern-day society. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or almost any podcast service easiest to you. Dive into the depths of chaos with us every Wednesday, bar Silver and Chaotic not missing their scheduling, and consider joining the podcast Discord or Twitter following even more insider looks and even some D&D sessions. If you'd like some extra special inside looks or even want to be a guest on the show, consider helping us via Patreon. Your help makes such a big difference to us both. Until next time, Mythics, you never know what kind of mayhem we might get into.